This is like the best news to have the best developers available working on the best blockchain system tech stack there is. I couldn't be more excited. As soon as I saw the announcement, I tweeted out like, awesome. OCI has built a lot of the blockchain tech stack that we use today, and it's great. They're here. They understand what's been done. They understand what's needed, and they're building it. This announcement today is really affirming that we have the best developers in the EOSIO system available to work on the features that are actually needed by application developers. The features that are listed in the API Plus blue paper around transaction lifecycle have real implications for developers, ease of use of building great applications. And at the moment, you have to do a lot of workarounds to do some very simple things that should be available and are available in other blockchain tech stacks. So it's when. That's always the next question, right? When do we have it? So I know they're actively working on it. We had a discussion this morning, just tuning the specification that was agreed to. The OCI team came back and said, Dear Matthew, we think the way the API Plus team outlined this could use some improvements, and here's what we suggest. So that's awesome. So they're not just, here's a list of things to implement, and they just go off and do it. No, they come back and they understand what's needed and suggest improvements too. So that's the kind of development team that you want to have. I look forward to hopefully maybe giving them more work after this blue paper in the future.
So there's a lot of benefits to working with OCI. The first one is what you mentioned. They're the most experienced team in EOSIO. If you look at the EOS code repo that Block One hosts, the top two names on there ranked by commits are two OCI developers. We have the number 2 guy leading this feature. The other thing is capacity. So as we've talked about on previous calls, everyone in this ecosystem has been very busy. All of the builders and top talent in the ecosystem spent the last several months writing these blue papers, and then they're going to spend the next several years fulfilling the proposals outlined in them. So we can't scale talent fast enough, and OCI can scale with us. They are a team of over 200 engineers. As our needs scale and our demands scale, obviously, we want to give work to every development team that's capable within EOSIO and EOS in particular. But it's going to take some time to grow the developer ecosystem and for teams like Greymass and EOS Nation to build their own team up and then train those developers up to be capable of building out some of these more advanced features. OCI could step right in. For good reason, they're the first team to be funded to fulfill a proposal because they had the availability, they had the experience and skill set, and they can get started immediately. I think they will be able to take on more features in the future. And the nice thing is, because they have such a large internal team, it's like they have mentors within their own company. So it's always easier to onboard a new EOSIO developer if you take them under your wing. And what I mean by that is, if you first start seeing EOS in the news now, today, and you want to start building on EOSIO, it's going to take that person a lot longer if they're a lone wolf trying to teach themselves than if they are hired by a team like Greymass, hired by a team like EOS Nation, or we're already working for a company like OCI that has work on the table. And OCI kind of has that. They have a farm system of 200 engineers, and they can continuously hire if they needed more. The ramp up phase of training an engineer from being a good developer to a good EOSIO developer is going to be a lot faster whenever you have that kind of mentorship, especially within your own company. They're like a top-notch company. If you look at some of the clients that they have just listed on their site, companies like Cisco, IBM, NASA, they work with a lot of very large multi-billion-dollar national businesses. I'm super stoked to see their output.